Even if Citibank can even say they sue me, because Citibank securitizes all of their credit cards. So this is in a trust. They put that out there for public information. And then number two, and what they identify as Exhibit 1, it says electronic file identified as PRA Best Buy Fresh Flow 1223. They did not attach that file. What they put in here is one is not the same as book_1. But the cell file here says port rec underscore and then etc. So to my defense is that no, they don't have any legal standing. They're not a real party of interest. They have not provided proof that they own this debt. And I would like to also note, Your Honor, that I was not served properly. Thank you.
You were not served what properly? The lawsuit?
Yes.
Okay, well, you've waived service because you've appeared. That's easy. Once you appeared, you waived it, that issue. As to the issue of whether or not there's valid ownership of this debt by the plaintiff, I understand your disputes. I just disagree with them. There is clearly here a bill of sale. It's signed. It states here the bill of sale and assignment dated December 21st, 2023 is by Citibank, a national banking association organized under the laws of the United States. It states the location. It states who the assignment is going to. It's signed by Citibank. It's signed by authorized title party, and it's also signed by Portfolio Recovery. It identifies in Exhibit 1, which is attached to it, the sale ID and the lot number. There is some information that's redacted. That would be the number of accounts and a cutoff date. That redacted information is something maybe if you wanted to discover further, you could probably do that if this was to pursue to a discovery period. But also there's another attachment that goes through account numbers and prior account numbers. It has your address on there, your date of birth on there. It has a consumer zip code for you on there. These are all the same address and contact information that was the same information that appeared to be on the original statements. In addition to that, they provided a copy of a letter that was sent to you, notifying you that this debt that you had accrued was being transferred. I don't believe that your dispute that they don't have proof that it was transferred or that they are lawful owners of this debt. I don't think it holds any weight because they provided the proof. And unless you can say that this proof, this is a statute of fraud issue, because this is not a statute of fraud issue. Nonetheless, I don't find that you have provided sufficient information or evidence to support your dispute as to whether or not they had a valid bill of sale or assignment of this debt. They provided that to the court and it was provided to you. If you don't like that that was provided or that there was a sale, that's personal. You don't get to now decide that you don't have to pay this money back, that you don't dispute you owe to or may have owed to Best Buy. You're just disputing that they can now purchase the debt. Debts are purchased often. I think you're aware of that. It looks like you've done a lot of research or you have some experience in this area. In this particular case, the court's going to deny your objection to their motion. I'm granting their motion. I don't believe that you presented a valid defense upon which the court can move forward with. I also don't believe that there's a genuine issue of material fact. You're not disputing the debt, you're disputing whether or not they have a valid assignment. The court deems the information provided for the court as a valid assignment. So motion for summary disposition is granted. Did you provide a copy of an order with your motion?
Your Honor, may I say?
Yes, Your Honor. The order is after the brief, but before the exhibits.
Your Honor, I have a question. You said
no. I've rendered my order. So
I'm read off my birthday. You read off a document. I have no clue what document you read off. You read off my birthday.
It was an exhibit. It was an exhibit. I didn't read the date that was on there. It was an exhibit that was attached to their motion. The first question I asked you was, did you receive a copy of their motion? You said you did.
Are you talking about the 2-column spreadsheet?
No, I'm not talking about a spreadsheet.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what I have their motion. There's not, the only thing that had my birth date on here and everything else was a 2-column spreadsheet. There's nothing
I apologize. I apologize. I'm not going to put a document on the screen that has private information that probably should be redacted if it's going to be public. This is a live stream viewing at this point, and the court is open to the public. But I did indicate to you what the court had reviewed, and you, I'm confident, received a full copy of the full packet, including the motion, the brief, and any attachments. Even outside of the date of birth issue that you're now rehashing, the court is satisfied that there was a proper assignment of this debt. And so there's no issue of material fact to proceed to a
Will he be coming up shortly, or?
Yeah, we'll try to get him. Any defense counsel on here? Not yet. Wait, can you see if defense counsel can zoom in? Thanks. So have you interviewed Blanco? Great.
Yeah, Spanish interpreter.
Yeah, I've got the interpreter here.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how you want to deal with that.
Let me go back to the- Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Proceed or you got-
I think we are good. Mr. Upshaw, how are you?
Hello, Your Honor.
Is there any reason there's also a Randall Upshaw in the waiting room?
Because I just took a break from upstairs, I'm in the middle of the exam, this man's told me to hand down.
Okay. Who do you have today?
Billy. Just the father.
Okay.
Is it Russell or Trey? Russell.
Awesome, yeah. So, DDC, if we can get number 11, Dooms first, he's got retained counsel. Phil,
Yeah, Judge, we only got two cameras, so we gotta wait. But we still finishing up on the one, you on the other one.
Your Honor, I'm gonna need a few minutes on Doom, Your Honor, on Dooms.
okay.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Reagan, You guys are on camera 4 right now?
So,
All right, so, when you're done with that, why don't you zoom that camera in,
no, Judge, so you can-
or just let me know and I can
Okay.
pull it up and then put you in a breakout room.
Gotcha.
Gentleman at DDC, what's your name, please?
Russell Dooms.
Thank you. Mr. Ragnon, how much time do you need before you're ready on Dooms?
At least 5 to 6 minutes. I just got this long report and I'd like to go through it if I could and check the record, that's all.
Okay, not a problem.
I appreciate it, Judge. Sorry.
All right. DDC, can we pass Mr. Dooms for the moment while the prosecutor gets ready on that?
Ready for.
I think we can go straight down.
Good evening. Devontae Bud.
Thank you, sir. In this case, 24-060-723, State of Michigan versus Levante James Bolden, counsel.
Breaking on behalf of Mr. Ball, I'm sorry, Judge.
Jennifer Douglas for the people, P72748.
Breaking on behalf of Mr. Bolden, waive the reading stand news been advised of his right.
Orland and not guilty plea on his client's behalf. As to bond.
Your Honor, Mr. Bolden, this is a traffic stop. There wasn't an attempt to flee. And so while we do have concern, given what his priors are, there's a little bit of age to them. And this is, again, non-assault of no attempt to flee. So the people aren't going to object to a personal, but I am asking for a higher personal, 50,000 personal.
Objection, Judge.
Thank you. One moment. Mr. Bolden, while this case is pending, you are not to possess a gun. Is that clear, sir?
Sir.
Court will set bond at 50,000 personal. Next court date is December 5, probable cause conference, December 12, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Yes, sir. Judge.
Okay, okay. What's your name, sir? Oh, okay. All right, this will be case 24059-387, State of Michigan versus Shamar Mathis, counsel.
Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people.
Right on behalf of Mr. Mathis, where the ring said new, he's been advised of his rights.
Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm sorry, this is a felony case. The people will not be appearing on this.
Where was it? Oh, court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Any update on the case?
Not yet, Judge, it's a bond, $100 bond, we did reach out, we just haven't heard anything back yet.
Okay. Sir, while this case is pending, you are not to possess a gun. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Court will set bond in accordance with the KPS at 1,010%. Counsel, is that affordable or unaffordable?
Judge, it's unaffordable, so I would ask for a determination.
Okay. Be a bond redetermination hearing on Wednesday, the 27th. And okay, and then December 2nd will be a review date in front of Judge Robbins, both here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Your Honor, Treasurer is ready.
I'm sorry, who is?
Treasurer.
Okay. Oh, you done the interview on that one?
Kari Washington.
Thank you, Mr. Washington. I'm going to handle one here in the courtroom, and then we'll come back to you in a second. Ma'am, if you can step up. What's your name, please? Looks like you got a traffic ticket we're going to start with where you missed the court date. When you missed that court date, a judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights? Yeah. All right, so this is a ticket P1274601 with a charge of no insurance misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor charge. Maximum penalty you might face is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I am going to set aside the arrest warrant, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, give you a personal bond. Your next date for this ticket is December 23rd for pretrial in front of Judge Williams here in this building. Your other matter today is case 24045-932, State of Michigan versus Treasurer Capri Vines Harp, counsels.
Jennifer Douglas for the people, P72748.
Right on behalf of Ms. Vines Harp, where the ring said new, should be advised of his rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as the bond.
Your Honor, Ms. Vines Harp, the people aren't going to object to a $25,000 personal bond. I am asking for no contact, given the allegations, which we do find concerning, but this does date back to June of 2022. It is a misdemeanor. So, Your Honor, I'm not going to object to a $25,000 personal, just asking for no contact.
No objection to the personal bond.
Thank you. All right, so while this case is pending, you are not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon and have no contact with Ms. Wright. Is that clear? Court will set bond at $10,000 personal. Next court date is a pretrial on December 9 in front of Judge Bryant here in this court. And if you'll have a seat, we'll get you some paperwork.
Thank you, Judge.
Mm-hmm. Okay, gentlemen at DDC, what's your name, please?
Kyrie Washington.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Washington, we've got some traffic matters that where you missed some court dates. When you missed those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, first ticket is P1128543 with charges of no insurance misdemeanor and driving while license not valid. And we've got 173100821, 2, and 3 with charges of driver's license never acquired, no insurance misdemeanor, and driving unregistered vehicle. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm gonna set aside the arrest warrants, enter not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Next court date will be a pretrial January 7th. And Madam Clerk, what judge are these tickets going to? Madam Clerk, what judge are these tickets going to on Curry, Washington? Okay, thanks.
So the intelligence is.
The date on the mid, if that's the right date.
What's the date, Your Honor?
Is January 7th? Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay.
Does that work? Okay, so it'll be January 7th, 2025 for pretrial in front of Judge King on the tickets. Now your other matter is case 24060726, State of Michigan versus Kari DeLorean, Washington. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Magistrate Steve Benson for the people, P71917.
Right on behalf of Mr. Washington, waiver reading standard has been advised of his rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, we're asking for $150,000 in cash or surety. We're also asking for monitorization. Charge, that lead charge is an AWIM. This individual ended up shooting another person, putting him in the hospital. That person had to undergo surgery and be intubated. We have witnesses who ended up making statements to police officers corroborating the shooting. We also have the admission by the defendant. The defendant previously was convicted of a 2018 weapons firearm possession by a felon, ended up spending some time in jail as a result of that. He knows he shouldn't have had a rifle, let alone a rifle at the time of this incident. It's an unfortunate incident where somebody got hurt as a direct result of defendant's actions. We're asking for that cash with monitorization.
Thank you.
Characterize it completely different. I don't think there was any exception to shooting. I think the plaintiff witness had a gun, accidentally shot himself with a gun. I think once the real facts come out, and you get a hearsay document, a report that you read, and it has some of the things that are in there. I don't know about an admission, because it wasn't no admission, Judge, but, they write certain things in there a certain way. But once my client, Judge, gets an opportunity to have a day in court, it's all gonna come out. I think that, you have individuals fighting over a gun, and the gun, one person actually pulls the trigger, shoots himself, and then it gets kind of put toward my client. My client turned himself in, Judge, when he found out about this. He didn't have to come out and look for him. When he found out about the warrant, he turned himself in. The warrant wasn't issued immediately, just back before Halloween, and just signed it today. So I'm asking the judge not to set a bond, 100 cash, Judge. I think that the way it's charged wrong, but obviously will have to come out, through testimony and through the pendency of the case. So I'm just asking for something more.
Thank you. One moment. So, Mr. Reagan, did I hear you correctly that it's your position that the complaining witness shot himself?
That there was some struggle with the gun, and the gun, that's correct, Judge.
3 times?
Oh, Judge.
Court does find the defendant to be a danger to at least the complaining witness, if not the broader public. Is your client employed?
Judge, he is not working. Judge, he's not working at the present time.
Okay. Sir, while this case is pending, you're not to possess a firearm, any other dangerous weapon. You're to have no contact with Mr. Jones. Should you post bond, you'll be on a GPS tether on house arrest. Court will set bond at $150,000 cash or surety. I'll give you, sir, a bond redetermination hearing on Wednesday, November 27, in front of Chief Judge McConico. Further dates after that will be December 4th for probable cause conference and December 11 preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Jefferson here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Ready, Your Honor, whenever you are. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Upshaw, whenever you're ready, we can do your client. And Mr. Martell, how can I help you? And who do you have, Mr. Martell?
Thank you, Judge. Elrico Welch, please and thank you.
All right. I do not see Rico Welch on the docket.
No Welch?
No.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well.
Hey, gentlemen at DDC, what's your name? Oh, we've got, sorry, let me do one in the courtroom. Or if you can come up to the front. Madam Clerk?
Yes.
I don't have any mix on this gentleman.
What is that?
Hammerly.
Oh, no, don't tell me. It was-
Sorry, sir. Oh, okay, here we go. All right. Sir, your name for the record.
Jake Andrew Hammerly.
Thank you. This will be case 24-056764, State of Michigan versus Jake Hammerly. It's an AG case and Mr. Reagan.
Right on behalf of Mr. Hammerly, you're on the way to the extended.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. As to bond.
As for personal bond, Judge, on behalf of Mr. Hammerly, we walk in today, here today, cannot judge for the years of this kind of statutory requirement, and set a personal bond in that amount on behalf of Mr. Hammerly.
Your client working?
Judge, he is working right now. Correct, yes, he is working.
Okay, court finds his continued employment is good cause to deviate from the statute. Court will set bond at $5,000 personal. Next court date will be a probable cause conference, January 6th. Preliminary exam, January 21, both in front of Judge Prentice Edwards in the new county Criminal Justice Center up on I-75 in Warren. If you have a seat, we'll get you some paperwork.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. You going out there? You come staying? All right. All right, gentlemen at DDC, what's your name?
Russell Dooms.
Thank you. And Mr. Upshaw, are you available or are you still in tied up?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. He's still tied up in the exam. Could you be so kind as to pass the matter really quick for him?
Okay, sure thing. All right, DDC, if we can pass Mr. Doom one more time, we'll come back to him a little later.
Thank you.
And good afternoon. What's your name, please?
Devontae Dooms.
And Mr. Dooms, you have a number of traffic matters where you've missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, Judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights? Okay, first ticket is P1145-128 with a charge of failing to display valid operator's license. Ticket P1272615, failure to display valid operator's license. Ticket P1356994, driving while license suspended and no insurance misdemeanor. P1365635, driving while license suspended, driving unregistered vehicle and no insurance misdemeanor. P1392663, driver's license never acquired, no insurance misdemeanor. P1444088, driving unregistered vehicle, driving while license suspended, no insurance misdemeanor. P1462773, no insurance misdemeanor, driving while license suspended. P1463618, drive while license not valid, no insurance misdemeanor. And 184656621, no operator's license on person. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. Want to set aside the arrest warrant, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial on January 2nd, 2025 in front of Judge Sherman here in 36th District Court. The next case today is 24-060-72702, State of Michigan versus Trevante Lee Dooms. Counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Reagan. Samuel A. Ragnan, P23-157 on behalf of the people.
Right, good afternoon, Judge. May I please the court, Philip Reagan on behalf of the Domes, waived the written stand mute, who's been advised of his rights.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond. Looks like you froze.
Camera wanted to do so. I'll proceed.
Feet of 449. Excuse me?
You froze up, Mr. Ragnar. We didn't hear a word you said.
Oh. I said, I'm asking for a personal bond because of the defendant's lack of prior record and so on, what limited involvement he had. But the police conducted 3 search warrants at 3 different locations, Your Honor, back on November the 22nd. They went to the address where Mr. Trevante Dooms was living on Steel Street. When they were going in through the front door, there was a policeman in the backyard who observed the defendant on the 2nd floor throw a plastic bag of what subsequently turned out to be cocaine, a knotted plastic bag, up on the roof. They searched the house, found additional narcotics. They found a shotgun with a extended clip in it that was stolen. The defendant, that he lived there, they found significant evidence that this was his residence and that he lived there. He admitted, in fact, that he lived there, and he admitted he was the one who threw the bag of cocaine on the roof. So, Your Honor, I believe the defendant, it's a very serious matter, large amounts of narcotics. They said they observed multiple transactions being done at that location, along with the co-defendant, Mr. Russell Dooms, who we're going to get to at some point, who would come over to the house with the narcotics. So it was an organization, basically, Your Honor. But we're going to just ask for the $100,000 personal bond in this matter. I would like to, and also for a tether for modernization, tether home arrest if he's not employed, because I think this is just a lot of drugs, Your Honor. You have to obtain them from someplace. There's too many situations, I think, that is a danger to the public. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's no objection to the personal bond. I don't think it tethers necessarily, no capious history, no criminal history. You know, it's a narcotic case, Judge, and a firearm. But I don't think it tethers necessary in this case, Judge. I'm asking for the personal bond.
The client working?
It is not working, Judge, at the present time.
All right, sir, while this case is pending, you are not to use or possess any illegal controlled substances. You're not to possess a firearm, and you will be on a GPS tether on house arrest. Court will set bond at $50,000 personal. Next court date is December 6th, probable cause conference, December 12th, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, you said personal bond?
Correct.
And Your Honor, just letting you know that I'm here for the interview with respect to Mr. Blanco.
Okay. All right, let me bring that camera in. And BDC, can you put Mr. Blanco number 3 on camera number 4? Oh, there he is. All right. There's your breakout room. Okay, I think we can pick back up. Ready when you are, DDC. Second name. Tucker. Thank you. One moment. And this is case 24-059-52802, State of Michigan versus Donovan Tucker, counsel.
Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people. Good afternoon, Mr. Reagan.
Good afternoon, Ms. Coyle. Philip Reagan on behalf of Mr. Tucker. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Right before reading stand mute, has been advised of his rights.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Your Honor, very serious but non-assaultive. I do not see a criminal history as to Mr. Tucker. The co-defendant is scheduled for exam. His bond is set at $50,000 personal bond. I believe that I'm asking for the same thing. I believe they're basically the same as far as history.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court will set bond at $50,000 personal. Next court date is December 5, probable cause conference, December 12, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thank you.
And that's all the mails for now, right?
Mr. Dooms, I will have to wait for Mr. Upshaw.
Waiting for Upshaw on that one.
What about-
and the other one? The other one's in the breakout room being interviewed.
Daja Dunnigan, is that a female?
I think so. Let me see.
I'll say how we do that. Share the phone next. Danny, you want to ask her?
What's your name?
Gary Williams.
And this case 24060213, State of Michigan versus Darius Chantella Williams, counsel.
Steve Benson for the people.
Your Honor, waiting to ask Ms. Williams, waiting to read stamp you, she's been advised of her rights.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, due to the time that's passed between this incident date and the present, where I don't see any criminal history subsequent to the alleged offense date, we're not going to be objecting to a personal bond. I didn't find anything in our history regarding any alcohol convictions, therefore I'm not going to be asking for an alcohol tether.
There's no objection to personal bond.
Thank you. One moment. And Ms. Williams, while this case is pending, you are not to drink alcohol at any time. Is that clear?
Yes.
Right. Madam Clerk, is there one of those correction tape things? Thanks. Court will set by $5,000 personal. Next court date is probable cause conference on December 4th, preliminary exam December 11th, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Thank you. You can step aside. Hi, what's your name, please?
Constance Shannon.
Thank you. And Ms. Shannon, you've got some traffic matters we're going to deal with first where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, a judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
Okay, give me 1 minute. First ticket is P1326253 with a charge of driving while license suspended. Ticket P1383261, driving while license suspended. And P1573663, driving unregistered vehicle and driving while license suspended. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrants, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf to give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial January 7th, 2025 in front of Judge Archer here in 36th District Court. Your other matter today is 24058-263, State of Michigan versus Constance America Shannon. Counsel.
Your Honor, this is a felony capias, so the city won't be appearing.
But what about the? Philip Wright on behalf of Ms. Shannon, because we're waiting for a response back down from Judge Rollins.
Meantime, what we'll do is this, ma'am, while the case is pending, are not to possess a gun at any time. Is that clear?
I understand you talking to me, sir. I couldn't make out what you said.
So while the case is pending, you can't have a gun. Understand?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. The court's going to set bond in accordance with the capias at $1,000, 10%. And if your defense counsel gets any news back from the judge, we may change that later, but that's what it is right now. Counsel, is that affordable or unaffordable? Mr. Reagan?
I'm sorry, Judge.
The capias is 10%. Is that affordable or unaffordable?
Affordable, Judge. I'd ask for a redetermination here until we can get an answer back on the motion.
Okay. So there'll be a bond redetermination hearing set for Wednesday, November 27th in front of Chief Judge McConico. Further dates are December 2nd, probable cause conference in front of Judge Robbins, and December 9th, preliminary exam in front of Judge Taylor. All of that here in 36th District Court. Thank you, Ms. Shannon. You can step aside, and if we get a change in your bond, we'll let you know.
So do that mean I stay here or I?
Well, so right now your bond is $1,000, 10%. So you would need to post $100. If you can't post $100, then you would stay there until Wednesday when you have another bond hearing in front of the chief judge.
No, I got the $100. I'm trying to go to work. I said that earlier. I got the money. I just need to get to my phone or to call somebody, but I can get the money.
Make a phone call. Make the phone call and have a pay. Make the phone call. Have a pay.
Hey, you tell me how to do it or what? He said make a phone call to pay who? I don't know how to do that. Call your people to come up here and pay the bill.
You call from me.
Okay. All right. All right, he didn't say that. He said it right.
Well, shit.
All right, what's your name? And Okay, Ms. Dunnigan, we're gonna start with some traffic tickets where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, a judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
1 second. Okay, Ms. Dunnigan, your traffic tickets are as follows. The first one is P1486951 with a charge of driving while license suspended. And then there's 1516918, driving while license suspended. P1521516, driving unregistered vehicle, no insurance misdemeanor, driving while license not valid. And P1549298, driving while license suspended, driving unregistered vehicle, and no insurance misdemeanor. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrants, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, give you a personal bond. Your next court date is January 2nd, 2025, in front of Judge Sherman for a pretrial. The other matter today is 24059-987, State of Michigan versus Deja Jasmine Dunnigan, counsel.
Yeah, no, this is a $30,000 felony KPS, so the city will not be appearing on this. Thank you.
Okay.
Judge Philip Reagan on behalf of Ms. Dunnigan. Wait for written standing, you judge, you've been advised of the rights.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Any update on the case?
Just wait.
All right. What case is this? Okay, while this case is pending, you are not to possess a gun or any other dangerous weapon, and you're to have no contact with Ms. Turner. Is that clear? Were you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. No guns, no contact with Ms. Turner. Court will set bond in accordance with the capias at $30,000 cash or surety. That will give you a bond redetermination hearing on Wednesday, November 27th. And dates after that are December 4, probable cause conference, and December 11, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Giles here in 36th District Court. Thank you, Ms. Dunnigan. You can step aside.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. What's your name, please?
Good afternoon, Jay Beckham.
Thank you. This is case 24046-010, State of Michigan versus Jade Beckham, counsel.
Steve Benson for the people.
Full right on behalf of Ms. Beckham, waive the reading stand mute. She's been advised of her rights, Judge.
They're not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond.
Magistrate, not going to be objecting to a personal bond. We are going to be asking for monitorization as well as an alcohol tether. Assaultive in the regard that the defendant's the mom of the complainant, and apparently defendant was intoxicated. She starts grabbing at her son's testicles and then bites him. I have pictures to corroborate that. Apparently alcohol played a part in this. She admits to police that she was drinking about 40 minutes before the incident. Respectfully, we're going to be asking for that monitorization.
Okay. Did you say personal?
But not objecting to a personal, correct?
And
Because
Mr.
so I
Ray.
am asking personal. I don't think that monitorization is necessary because I don't have a lot of history of alcohol, tons of drug drinking. I don't know the situation. I don't think the alcohol tether is necessary because the allegations say that she had a 20-minute court allegations made. I think alcohol tether would be okay.
What you're saying, Mr. Reagan?
Sorry, Judge.
I couldn't hear much of what you were saying.
I'm saying that I don't believe the alcohol tether is necessary at this time. I don't think that it's necessary based on just allegations. She might have had something to drink prior to these allegations. Not talking about operating a motor vehicle, Part 5. Yeah, I just don't think it's necessary.
All right. And so we should be able to do your defendant next if you've got a minute. Okay. What about no contact provision? Anybody got thoughts on that?
I think in addition to the alcohol tether, I think that would be good, Judge. I mean, when we get to the point where somebody's, biting on their sons, their biological sons in private areas, and then biting on the body, I think there's an issue in terms of alcohol. So we're going to push on the alcohol tether, no contact, well, at least through the pendency of the case.
Let's see. And Judge, I apologize. I'm not aware about pictures in this particular situation. But even if there are judge or alleged pictures, I don't know. I think that this is a allegation right now. I don't know. I don't know what the total full scale of it is. Obviously, when it comes to a case for trial, certain things will be brought out. But right now, Judge, I don't know that is necessary per se.
Is your client working?
Judge, she is working at Detroit Manufacturing Systems.
Okay. All right. While this case is pending, ma'am, you're not to drink alcohol at any time. You have no contact with Ja'Cory, and court will set bond at $10,000 personal. I'm really tempted to put you on an alcohol tether, but I don't want you to lose your job waiting on that tether. So, 10,000 personal. Next court date is a pretrial December 9 in front of Judge Garrett here in 36th District Court. Thank you. You can step aside. Okay. And that's all the females, right?
Yes, Your Honor, that's all females.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I think we're going to do it.
Yeah. All right. Madam
Judge,
Interpreter.
Judge, we did get permission, Judge Robbins on Constance Shannon for personal bond.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. You know what? Let's do Mr. Upshaw first.
Oh, okay. Then you know what, Your Honor? I just have to step away shortly for a moment. I'll be right back.
Okay, that's fine. DDC, if we can get the other Mr. Dooms on on camera 3, that would be great. And Mr. Reagan?
Yes, Judge.
You said you got authorization on Constance Shannon, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Dooms, your name for the record one more time, please.
Russell Dooms.
Thank you. Give me one moment. And this will be case 24-06-072701, State of Michigan versus Russell Lee Dooms Jr. Counsels, your appearances beginning with the people.
Samuel A. Reagan for the people, Your Honor.
And Randall Upshaw, P number 43574, on behalf of Mr. Dooms, Your Honor. Way to read this.
Thank you. Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. As to bond.
Your Honor, as I previously mentioned on the co-defendant, Mr. Trevante Dooms, the police executed multiple search warrants at 3 different locations. One of those locations was a residence where Mr. Dooms lived, which was in fact confirmed once they got into the residence and found various documents, DTE, bills, and so on, showing that he was the owner of that home. In addition, he admitted that he was the owner of that home, Your Honor. So they did find narcotics at this home. However, the defendant was very cooperative, and he told them from the beginning, he says, you know, I manufacture crack cocaine, I've been selling crack cocaine, and I deliver cocaine. So he's admitted that, and he transported narcotics to the co-defendant's residence, where narcotics were sold out of that residence, Your Honor. So I don't think there's a reason to go into each of the whole situation, the search warrants or anything. I'm going to ask you for the same bond you gave his co-defendant, $50,000 personal bond with a GPS tether with home arrest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I have respect for Mr. Ragnon, and I don't believe he asked any question. My client has no prior felony record, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He was arrested in his house. Now, he can't be accountable for what his son, who has the exact same name or very similar name, but it was no sales or anything of that nature. Now, what the officers want to, I think it was 1 oxycodone or something for his back pain. There was no cocaine, there was no guns, he didn't try to run. Now, what he wants to say is they want to say that 40 years or 20 years ago, what he might have done 20 years ago, but we're not talking about today, Judge. And that shouldn't be held against him. In this case, it appears that his son was doing his own thing in a different house, in another house. When he went in his house, I believe the only thing there was 1 oxycodone or something of that nature. No gun, no drugs, no guns, and nothing of that nature. There's no reason to believe he would take this. He's been here for 40-something years, and this is his record. There's no reason to believe he's going to run. He's never had no assault of hurting of nobody, beating anyone. Judge, he has a presumption, and no violent history. He didn't try to run. Now, they want to say he's being cooperative, but they want to interpret it in their own way. The judge, there's no reason to believe he cannot abide by a bond and that he will not appear. Judge, I believe after 40-something years without a felony record, you deserve a personal bond of this matter. Or does he have one?
Well, Your Honor, perhaps I should give you a few more facts then to show you exactly what happened. They had the defendant under surveillance for quite some time. They said they observed him making a transaction even from his own vehicle, but he admitted to manufacturing crack cocaine, which is a procedure they do by boiling, I believe, they boil the cocaine and put it with some other substance to that effect. and then taking it over to his son's house for sale. Okay, so I mean, I'm sorry, we're not asking for a cash bond here. I'm asking for to protect the public. He's charged with selling 50 to 449 grams of cocaine. He's also selling for delivery of 50 grams of cocaine. Very serious matter, very dangerous to the public. I'm asking for a personal bond, Your Honor. I'm not asking to put him in jail while this case is progressing through the court system. And I believe the personal bond, but I believe the tether is most important, since I believe, we believe that he was the person who manufactured it for it to be sold. So his son may be doing whatever he wanted to do, and he admitted what he did. But this defendant admitted it more than once, that he manufactured it, sells the drugs, and delivers the drugs. So I think a tether is most important here, Your Honor.
So, house they found Mr. Dooms in didn't appear to have much in it. It did contain keys to the other house, which allegedly did have cocaine, as well as packaging materials, that sort of thing. So, I may have asked you this, is your client working?
Yes, where you working, Mr. Jones?
Where you at, Tony?
All right. Sir, while this case is pending, you are not to use or possess any illegal controlled substances. Court will set bond at $100,000 personal. Next court date, December 6th, probable cause conference, December 12th, preliminary exam, both in front of Judge Taylor here in 36th District Court. Anything else for this record?
No, thank you very much, Your Honor. You all have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep. All right. Now back to the interpreter case. I'm in space. I didn't see you there. All right, Madam Interpreter, do you swear or affirm you will translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do.
And can you ask the...
My first name is Antonia and my last name is Vivian. Señor, diga su nombre que conste en acta.
Jackson Giuseppe Blanco.
Jackson Giuseppe Blanco.
Thank you. This will be case 24060724, State of Michigan versus Jackson Giuseppe Blanco.
Este es el caso 24060724, Jackson Giuseppe Blanco, las personas en contra de él.
Samuel A. Ragnon for the people.
Samuel Ragnon por las personas.
And Lorena Bejan on behalf of Mr. Blanco, who stands mute, understands his rights, and waives formal reading.
Lorena Bejan representando el señor Blanco. Renunciamos la lectura de cargos formal y va a mantener silencio.
Court will enter a not guilty plea on defendant's behalf.
La Corte entrega una declaración de no ser no culpable por él.
Arguments as to bond.
¿Cómo va la fianza?
The people are asking for $10,000 cash surety bond and tether home arrest if he posts bond.
Las personas piden $10,000 en efectivo para fianza y si él puede pagar esta fianza, que se ponga en un grillete GPS.
The very assaultive case.
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, this is a very assaultive case where the defendant and the complainant got into an argument.
Este es un caso de grave agresión que el acusado y la demandante se pusieron en un argumento.
The complaining witness, number one, said that the defendant pushed her down on the bed.
La demandante número 1 dijo que a él lo empujó en la cama.
She got up and tried to leave the room, but he blocked her and locked the door.
Ella quería salir del cuarto, pero él la bloqueó y cerró la puerta con llave.
She was able to get her son out of the room, opened the door, got him out of the room, and then he locked the door again.
Ella pudo agarrar el hijo y sacarlo, abriendo la puerta, y él cerró la puerta otra vez.
He then pushed her back down on the bed.
Y después la empujó a ella otra vez en la cama.
And got on top of her and held her arms with one arm and strangled her with his other arm.
Y después él se puso encima de ella, manteniendo los brazos de ella en una mano y ahorcándola con la otra mano.
He did not lose consciousness.
Pero ella no perdió conciencia.
She tried to use her phone to call, but the defendant and disabled it or put it on airplane mode.
Ella probó de usar el teléfono, pero él discapacitó el teléfono y puso en modo de avión.
So, not to cut you off, Counsel, but I've read the report.
No te quiero cortar, pero yo ya leí la informe.
Okay, Your Honor, here, let me just finish and tell you this. The defendant had a warrant for his arrest for violation of USC 122.9A, it's a removal order because he's an alien present without admission or parole into the USA. 3 charges of that. On 820.
Okay, so hold on. Acusado tiene órdenes de USC 122.98 que son órdenes para sacarlo del país. Okay, go ahead.
So one count was dismissed back on 8/24/2024, and I don't know the status of the other situation that's pending or not.
Y un cargo fue desestimado el 24 de agosto 2024, pero yo no sé lo que pasó con el otro caso que está pendiente.
My concern is, Your Honor, that is for the complaining witness, 2 complaining witnesses, and another witness.
Mi preocupación que es por la testiga demandante y 2 otros testigos demandantes.
I think a cash bond is appropriate and definitely a tether with home arrest at a different location is important.
Y a mí me parece que una fianza de efectivo está apropiada y si él puede pagar eso, un grillete con arresto residencial sería también adecuado.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Gracias, Su Señoría.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask for a personal bond in this matter for several reasons.
Yo voy a pedir, Su Señoría, para una fianza personal para varios motivos.
One, there are always 2 sides of every story.
Siempre hay 2 partes de cada cuenta.
There's allegations made of some kind of violence against one complainant.
Siempre hay alguna queje de algo violento en contra de otra persona.
The report is inconsistent. At one point, the complainant is in bed, at one point not.
Y el informe no es consistente. En algún punto la demandante está en la cama, en otro punto no estaba.
And with respect to the other complainant, some kind of physical altercation occurred involving a vehicle.
Y en respecto de los otros demandantes, hubo otras cosas dichas que envuelve un vehículo.
We don't know who started what and what happened.
Nosotros no sabemos quién empezó qué y qué pasó.
But we know that these are allegations at the end of the day.
Entonces nosotros sabemos que todas estas alegaciones al fin del día,
There's no images,
no hay imágenes,
there's no video,
no hay video,
and I don't see anything about any medical treatment whatsoever.
y yo no veo nada de ningún tratamiento de salud.
My client doesn't speak English, would have a very difficult time in jail.
Mi cliente no habla inglés, va a tener un tiempo muy difícil adentro del cárcel.
He's 21 years old.
Él tiene 21 años.
He can stay with a friend during the pendency of this case, so contact wouldn't be an issue.
Él puede vivir con un amigo cuando mientras que este caso está pendiente, entonces los órdenes de no contacto no es ningún problema.
Besides the USCIS immigration-related cases, I'm not aware of any other pending cases or convictions.
Y aparte del caso de USCIS, no sé si hay estos casos pendientes y no soy consciente de él ser condenado.
He's working, no KPS history.
Él está trabajando, no tiene historia de órdenes de arresto.
So I believe, Your Honor, that for the reasons stated on the record, I would request the court to grant a personal bond.
Entonces, por los motivos que yo expliqué, su señoría, estoy pidiendo una fianza personal.
2 points, Your Honor.
What are your client's work hours?
¿Cuáles son los horarios de su cliente del trabajo?
Your Honor, he's working a total of 45 hours a week. My understanding is that he works Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.
Su señoría, él trabaja 45 horas por semana y lo que yo entiendo es que él trabaja del lunes a viernes de las 6 de la mañana hasta las 3:30 de la tarde.
Just Your Honor, add, Your Honor, if I may, that
sí.
There were
¿Puedo agregar, su señoría? Hay dos demandantes y una testiga.
Assaulted the second complaining witness who tried to break it up, then followed him out to his vehicle and broke his windshield.
El segundo testigo demandante quiso separar la pelea y él después se fue al vehículo y el acusado rompió la ventanilla.
In all due respect, but these are allegations, Your Honor.
Con mucho respeto, su señoría, estas son todas alegaciones.
So here's what we're going to do.
Esto es lo que vamos a hacer.
While this case is pending, you are not to possess a gun or any other dangerous weapon.
Mientras que este caso es pendiente, usted no puede ser dueño o poseer ninguna arma peligrosa.
You have no contact with Ms. Blanco.
No puedes tener ningún contacto con la señora Blanca.
Have no contact with the Terry Street address.
No tener ningún contacto con la dirección de la calle Terry.
I have a GPS tether.
Un grillete GPS.
Curfew on that tether is from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. So you need to be indoors at some other location than the Terry Street address during those hours.
Entonces, sus restricciones son de las 5 de la tarde hasta las 5 de la mañana. Entonces, entre medio de esos horarios, tienes que estar seguramente en una ubicación.
Court will set bond at $10,000, 10%.
Vamos a poner fianza a $10,000, 10%.
I have a bond redetermination hearing in 2 days on November 27th.
Vamos a tener otra audiencia de la fianza en el 27 de noviembre.
Probable cause conference will be December 4th.
La conferencia de causa probable va a ser el 4 de diciembre.
Preliminary exam is December 11th.
Examinación preliminaria va a ser el 11 de diciembre.
Both of those hearings are in front of Judge Sabri here in 36th District Court.
Y las dos audiencias van a ser en frente de la juez Sabri aquí en el Corte Distrito 36.
Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Gracias, señor. Ya usted se puede retirarse.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. That's everybody, right, DDC? Yes. I think that's everything. We all in agreement that that's everybody?
Yep, sounds good to me. Good to see you, Magistrate.
Thank you.
Everyone.
All right.
Have a good